Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me on a Better Place, where I talk to the experts and the advocates in the self-care, beauty, and mindset space. If you're new here, my name is Yaritza. I'm a self-care lifestyle blogger in Los Angeles, and I encourage you to prioritize self-care, beauty, and mindset. And I'm so excited to be having this conversation today. Today's guest is Erin from the Melanin Method, and we are going to be talking all about skincare. So if you guys have any questions while we're having the conversation, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you are enjoying the conversation, please hit that like button to let us know. So I will be bringing in Erin. Erin, she requested me right? Conversation about skincare. Hi, Erin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, of course.
So I wanted to get the conversation started with a little bit of you telling us a little bit about you and what it is that you do.
Okay, so I'm a licensed esthetician. I'm based in Texas, specifically Dallas, Texas. But mostly I just like to educate people online and help them get started in their skincare journey. I just love all things skincare, especially when it comes to tips and tricks, ways to save money, what's worth your buck and what's not. So yeah.
Awesome. I love all things skincare as well. So for those of us who don't know, because can you define what is a licensed esthetician? Because I feel like I didn't even know what it was or that they existed until my late 20s.
Yeah, no, for sure. Same here. I didn't know until like right after high school. But no, licensed esthetician is basically someone that is licensed and trained to treat your skin. We can't diagnose, so we're not doctors, but we can treat your skin concerns or skin problems. I guess you could think of us as like we have like a better understanding in terms of like skincare, I feel like personally, than most dermatologists do. Like dermatologists go to school to learn what certain diseases look like, or like certain moles or skin cancers, things like that. Like they have that knowledge, whereas we don't have so much of that, but we know a lot more about like skincare itself. Does that make any sense? Like
That's awesome, because I was going to ask you the difference between an esthetician and a dermatologist and when we should visit one over the other.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, if you're going to a really good esthetician, they should definitely let you know when to do that. If you just haven't been to either or, I feel like it's always safest to go to a dermatologist first. That's just my opinion. But I feel like, especially if you've had a problem that's been persistent for a long time, such as acne, or if you have been to certain estheticians or different spas and stuff, and it just seems like no one's able to treat it, I would totally consult a dermatologist. Also, if acne or other skin conditions are prominent in your family line, that's another thing you should probably talk to a dermatologist for, because you might need some sort of like medication, or it could be hormonal, who knows? But I would always go to a dermatologist first, just to make sure. If they're just prescribing you like some sort of cream or something, then maybe start seeing an esthetician instead. But if they diagnose you with something that's pretty major, then yeah, I think it's always safe to go to a derm.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for like making that distinction for us, because I had like really severe adult inflamed acne, and I remember when I went to the dermatologist for the first time and they treated me with medication, and that's what I needed. And now I usually just go to an esthetician for my facials and upkeep of my skincare.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to like work in the skincare industry?
Oh man, I don't know. I just got super obsessed with skincare. I ran across a video on YouTube, like, I don't know, probably back in 2017, I'm gonna be honest, like 2017. I remember it because I was with my friend at the time, and it was some video about like the, what is it? I think it's the 10-step Korean skincare routine. And I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So the next day, like went out and bought my 10-step routine, being like a skincare newbie, and it was just a mess. So after that, and after being like kind of confused about skincare for such a long time, I was like, I should just go to school for this. Clearly I like it. It's something that I look up in my free time. It's something that I research in my free time. I just wanted a better understanding of it, and I like being able to have the license to kind of back up what I'm saying a lot of the time. Even at my job now, like it's nice having the license to back up what I'm saying. Um, but no, yeah, I used to be the kid that would like dread having to wash her face. Like in middle school, I was like, I don't wash my face. It takes so much time. Like, not to sound like I'm gross, but like I just hated doing it. So it's kind of weird that it turned into this, that now I'm
Right.
obsessed with it. So
That's awesome. I
yeah.
love that you say that you have the license to back up your opinion on skincare, because I mean, I love skincare and I talk about skincare all the time on my social channels, but I always say like I'm not an expert. So I'm just speaking from like my own experience. So like if you have any like actual issues, like you should visit a professional. I was obviously watching your content. And then one thing that I think is really awesome that you do is that the uncomplicated fun skincare, and a lot of the products that you use are brands that we recognize, things that I can go to the store and actually grab versus like the ones that I have to go to a dermatologist office and get. Can you talk a little bit about like why you decided to go that route versus the other one?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. I think it's definitely mainly because I was tired of seeing estheticians like either shame people or talk bad about brands that you can find at like Sephora, Ulta, or like Target, or just like online. Obviously, there are some drugstore brands that we know that aren't that great, or like don't get your skincare off of Amazon, like things like that. But in my opinion, and I've used Sephora skincare for so long before I went to like esthetician school. In my opinion, not everyone needs the medical grade stuff. Also, some people want to go on the long journey. They don't want to take the shortest route. It just might not be that much of a priority to them. I will say, like, obviously seeing an esthetician using those higher grade products, professional grade products, you will get faster results. So like if you're in a hurry, like you have a wedding or an event or something, definitely go to an esthetician. But I think for some people, they enjoy the journey. They enjoy figuring out their skin on their own. And I honestly just felt like all of these estheticians or professionals talking crap about skincare lines from those types of retailers, and just saying how like, you know, buying your skincare from Sephora is like not good for your skin, whatever. And I think the real problem is just like people don't understand how to layer their skincare. They don't understand that you should only use like maybe 2 exfoliants during the day for your skincare, or that you should be washing your face nighttime and doing like a double cleanse. Like I feel like a lot of people just don't know everything that goes into it. So I feel like if I can just let people know and give people advice and tips and kind of help them navigate like, oh, what products do I need? It would make it a lot better. And more people might be able to see success just not going to an esthetician directly.
Right.
So,
Because for some people, it can also be like out of reach, like finances, everything like that. So they prefer to like try out and products that they can grab from the shelf. So like, what is like the number one or the biggest misconception when it comes to skincare? I guess we kind of talked a little bit about like the products at Sephora and stuff like that, but what do you think is the number one misconception when it comes to like skincare or misinformation?
Oh, probably that Black people or people of color don't need to wear sunscreen. That is one that I see a lot in my DMs all the time. I would say that's the biggest one, and I feel like also the most dangerous one, because it can happen. It's obviously not super common, but it can happen. And also, I like to explain it to people this way. I'm like, for a lot of people that are skin of color, like our biggest concern usually is hyperpigmentation. You're just prone to hyperpigmentation. You have more melanin in your skin. And if you're trying to treat hyperpigmentation, you're using probably actives like glycolic acid, salicylic, lactic, things like that, just to kind of help with the hyperpigmentation. If you're doing those things, it makes your skin more sensitive to the sun. So, I mean, if for any reason, you should just use your sunscreen for that particular reason, that you're using actives on your face that make your skin more sensitive. So, yeah, I would say that's the biggest misconception, that basically black don't crack, like that type of stuff. I'm like, it does, it can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. As long as you take care of your skin, then it won't crack.
Yeah.
So SPF every day, and should people be reapplying SPF throughout the day?
Yes, you should. I will say I'm definitely not one of those estheticians that's like, if you didn't apply SPF like this morning, like I'm not saying hi to you or whatever. Like, I'm not going to shame people because I understand that sunscreen, like when you think about it, it's really not that inexpensive. Like, it can be expensive if you're someone who's doing like the 2-finger rule, applying it to your face, or even if you're doing like 3 to do like face, neck, and like décolleté. And it can be expensive to reapply every 2 hours. I understand a lot of people like to wear makeup, so there's only certain products you can use on top of makeup that won't interfere with the makeup. Honestly, I'm just happy for applying it once a day in the morning. Personally, I'm an esthetician. I honestly don't apply every 2 hours. I really don't. If I'm inside all day, I might like reapply before I go outside. But other than that, like, yes, it's important, but I also understand that like you have a life. And
Right.
like, it's kind of hard to do that all the time, every single day. So
Yeah, I feel like I've been trying to be like, because I sit in front of the window all the time, and I'm like, oh, I should reapply sunscreen right now. It's like the middle of the day, and I've been sitting in the sun all day. I should reapply. But that's good to hear. So I've heard you say in one of your videos that you do not pop your own pimples, or you don't ever pop your pimples. Do you go to a professional, like another person that you trust, or what do you do?
Yeah, so there's actually luckily a facial bar like near me. It's like 5 minutes away, and I see an esthetician there. And normally if I have pimples and stuff, I don't pop them. I'm scared to pop them because I'm super susceptible to hyperpigmentation, and I've worked so hard on it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to pop it. I don't care if it's literally blowing up like a balloon on my face. I'm like, I'm just not going to touch it. It's whatever. No. If anything, I'll just put like a pimple patch or something on. Just like it's not irritated by like the face masks and stuff at work, but I don't prefer to pop my own pimples. I feel like it's, especially now knowing how to actually pop a pimple correctly, I just feel like it's very difficult to do it on your own because of like the angle you have to be at. You'd have to be really pretty close to the mirror to be able to see what you're doing. Like, I would just rather have someone else take care of it so I don't scar, because I've noticed if I do it myself, I'll usually scar, whereas if I go see my esthetician and she does it for me, I won't. But there's also like post-care things that people don't talk about when it comes to popping your pimples. Like, you can't just pop your pimple, have this open wound, and go on with life. Like, you're gonna get a scar. So there's other things that you can do to like kill the bacteria away to make sure it doesn't come back, like using high frequency or light therapy, which is something you can get with an esthetician to make sure that it is gone and doesn't just keep popping up in the same spot.
Right. So don't pop your pimples, people. Go to a professional to get it done. So when do you think that people should start caring about like their skincare routine specifically? Like, are you too young like to start like at 10 years old, or like, I don't know, that's a crazy number, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, because I do get a lot of parents that come in that are concerned about their children. I would honestly say you should start building a routine around like 12 or 13, because I understand like some kids will experience acne really young, whereas for me, I was fine all through middle school and high school, and then once I was into college, I had acne. So I think it kind of depends on whenever you start, but if you're pretty adamant and you want, to have a routine, I think just having like a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, and an SPF are perfect from like ages 12 all the way up into probably like end of high school. And then you probably at that point want to start incorporating like some serums, like some exfoliants, maybe retinol when you start getting into your 20s for like preventative care. But I feel like the youngest would be like 12-ish. You should probably kind of start caring about it a little bit more, just because that's when puberty's hitting and hormones and stuff. So
yeah. I just wish there was like more information about like start caring about your skincare at an earlier age, because I remember I had really bad acne like my entire life, and I didn't go to a dermatologist until I was like 27.
Okay, yeah.
Because like my mom had never heard about a dermatologist or an esthetician, like, so I did like all the 3-step process that I saw advertised on TV that would like work temporarily but not like really give me long-term results. So I love that you are like just education, right? Like your content is more about like just putting information out there about skincare. So absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So I'm all about self-care. So aside from your skincare, because I consider skincare like part of like self-care.
Yeah.
But aside from that, what else do you do to like take care of yourself and your mental health and all that stuff?
Ooh, what else? Other than like social media and I guess working and skincare, I'm trying to think. I do like to dance. Sometimes I'll try and see if there's any like those like dance classes like in Dallas or whatever. Like you just go and they teach you a routine and like that's it. I love dancing, and then I'm really into making like miniatures. It's kind of weird, but making miniatures, like miniature dioramas or like miniature food, what have you. Like it's just something that relaxes me and it's satisfying to do that, and it feels good when it's done and it comes out how you want it to. So sometimes I'll do that if I'm having a mental health, like a bad mental health day, or if I'm just off work and I don't have anything planned, so I'm not just sitting in my bed all day, just to give me something else to do. So I would say probably that is like my self-care thing that I'll do.
Awesome. And do you have like a list of like recommended products that you recommend, or should we just check out your Instagram?
Oh goodness. I think it depends on a lot of things. I don't know. I could say like my favorite brands, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I can start with Sephora. I feel like that's where I recommend most of my stuff. All-time favorite brand from Sephora is definitely Youth to the People.
Okay.
I think I was watching a video from Susan Yara on mixed makeup, and she was saying everything in their jars are the best, which is totally true. So if you are at Sephora, go to the Youth to the People counter. Anything that is in a jar, I've tried it. I love it. Not that all the other stuff is bad, but anything in a jar is great. They also have like this really good, it's like an instant microdermabrasion treatment. That's really good. They just use like bamboo particles and enzymes to like exfoliate. And I've had microderm done a ton of times. This one, like this scrub, feels really, really, really good. It feels honestly like you just got microderms whenever you're done with it. I will say with scrubs, if you have active acne, don't purchase a scrub. Just don't do it. Do a toner or an exfoliating serum. My other favorite brand would be Pharmacy. Love their makeup cleansing balm. So I use that instead of using makeup wipes. Or if I'm really lazy, I'll just use like a micellar water. But I try to do a cleansing balm. Their cleansing balm, I think, is Sephora's #1 seller behind, or maybe, I don't know. It's like Clinique Take the Day and Pharmacy for sure. But
yeah, I've used it before. I love it.
yeah, I was like, it's the only cleansing balm that doesn't sting my eyes. I have really sensitive eyes, but I love that one. They also have a very good line for like, in my opinion, like people that are new to skincare or like teenagers that are dealing with like minor acne. It's like all in green packaging. It's usually in stores like all next to each other. They have like their whipped creams, oil-free foaming cleanser. They have the Deep Sweet 2% BHA pore tight toner, I believe it's called. And then they also have this like daily greens like moisturizer. What makes all of that really good though is that they have moringa and papaya in all of those, and both of those ingredients help with like detoxifying the skin and also balancing oil production. So if you're someone who's new to skincare, don't really know where to start, but don't want to start at drugstore and kind of want to jump into like the prestige skincare, as you can call it, that's a really good line to start with. Also, if you really like the Polish Choice BHA 2% toner, or if you didn't like it, a really good dupe would be that Pharmacy toner. It's a 2% BHA as well. They both use salicylic acid. So it's really nice. I like it. Sorry, I'm like trying to give you products as well.
No, awesome. I'm like taking like notes. Someone in the comments asked, what is like a retinol or a serum that we should use as preventive care when you're in your 20s?
Honestly, if you're in your 20s, I would start with like a lower percentage retinol. You don't need to jump into like the 1%, or sometimes I think you can get like 2% over the counter. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. But I really have been liking the Kiehl's retinol that they have. It's called their microdose something retinol. That's a really good one for preventative. It's a pure retinol. And another tip to know if a product is a pure retinol, if it's like yellow or kind of like a yellowy orange in color, that means it's pure retinol. It's not like a retinol alternative. So that's something to keep in mind if you're at the store and you can try things on, just to be like, okay, this is like real retinol. It's not an alternative if you're not able to like see it on the bottle or you don't recognize the ingredient list or whatnot. But no, that one's really good. I believe it's a 0.5% retinol. But it's a microdose. So what's nice about it is it releases the retinol in doses. So it's not like just attacking your skin at once. So using that retinol specifically, you're most likely not going to get any sort of adverse reaction like breaking out or purging. And then you're also not going to experience that like extreme dryness or flakiness that some people experience with retinol, because it's like micro releasing the retinol throughout the day or throughout the night whenever you choose to use it. But that one is perfect just to start off with, or if you're in your 20s and you're just trying to do preventative care without going straight in with like this heavy retinol, because not everyone needs the super high concentrated retinol. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about like if it's yellow, it's like more pure or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Any last minute questions, type them in the comments. I want to thank you, Erin, for joining us today and giving us all the info on skincare. I hope that people really got some great value out of this conversation. I know I did. I was taking notes. Any last tips or advice for anyone listening? Or if not, we can just cut it right here.
It's like, not much. Just wear your sunscreen. Talk to an esthetician if you have questions. You can always DM me. I literally answer everyone, anyone. If you give me a long paragraph, I'll give you a long paragraph back. Like, yeah, I try my best.
Okay, last question. What moisturizer do you suggest for nighttime use? And then we'll end it there.
I suggest, like, if you're asking for like a personal product recommendation, I suggest, oh God, what is it? Oh, the Pharmacy. Love Pharmacy, but Pharmacy's Honey Halo Moisturizer. If you have really oily skin, you might not really love this, but even if you're like combination or if you're really dry, you'll love it. Anything that is ceramide rich is great at nighttime. A lot of people that have dry skin or combination skin often will use like hyaluronic acid, which is great. That holds like water to your skin. But what are you going to do to prevent it from leaving your skin? So ceramides actually like create that barrier to hold and lock in all that moisture. So anything that's ceramide rich will definitely help for nighttime use and keep your skin really plump. It's really good for like aging. If you have really fine lines, like ceramides help kind of plump the skin and keep it plump. So anything with ceramides.
Awesome. Good to know. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, Erin, for giving us all the info on skincare. I will see you guys next week, and make sure that you follow Erin. I will link her in the description box. This will be saved as an IGTV. So if you didn't catch it from the beginning, you can see it there. Awesome. Bye, everyone.